Welcome, everyone. I am so excited and delighted that you are here because I have so much to share with you about gratitude. First, I'm going to help you really understand the science and the laws, the universal laws that apply to gratitude. And then I'm going to share a few of my own misadventures with gratitude so that you'll understand from a human perspective, how it can go horribly wrong if you don't understand what it is that you're trying to achieve. So, welcome. I'm Dr. Marcia Martin, the heart healer, and today we're going to look at why you should not be grateful for everything. And this is coming from the bottom of my heart because you can inadvertently begin attracting everything that you don't want if you are holding yourself to that standard of, oh, I have to be grateful for everything. And you aren't understanding the science of gratitude, the way the laws are working. So, first, let's understand what gratitude really is. What is it that you are supposed to be doing? Well, if we look at the dictionary, it tells us that gratitude is the quality of being thankful, or you are ready, you are in a state of readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Now, as empathetic beings, I absolutely know and understand that you desire to be kind. It's going to be hardwired in you to want to reach out and be kind to others. But please remember to be kind to you. The first person that you have an obligation to is you. You are the person that must be okay in order for you to make your contribution to help others to complete your journey. So I understand that you want to be here for everyone else, especially those you hold dear. But you must hold yourself the most dear, or you will not be able to help others. So, gratitude means that you are actively searching for things to be grateful for. It is an activity, it's an action. So, because it's an action, understand that one action will often cause other reactions. The action of looking for things to be grateful for immediately activates the law of attraction. Now, the law of attraction takes what you're thinking about, especially when you wrap emotion around it, but it takes what you're thinking about and it begins bringing you more things that are similar. And it is not unusual for the things to become magnified. So perhaps you're thinking, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if I could have an ice cream cone? And oh, I would just be so grateful to have an ice cream cone. Oh, the most wonderful thing in the world would be to have an ice cream cone. Do you see how your emotions are amping up how important this is becoming to you? This ice cream cone is becoming to you, and how grateful that you are going to be to receive the ice cream cone. And the more that you really get wrapped up in this, the more that you are tweaking the law of attraction to bring to you ice cream. But probably not just one ice cream cone, perhaps many different flavors of ice cream. But you are activating that law of attraction magnetism and saying, I want this. It's sort of a yes, please order to the universe. So when we are focused on something and then really getting excited and delighted about it, we are absolutely guaranteeing that we are going to receive this thing if we continue holding that high focus of thought and emotion. So, first thing you need to remember about gratitude is that it's really good at activating the law of attraction because it is saying more please. And when we are saying yes, 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 more please, we are usually have gotten our emotional self involved in the activity. And that means that we are going to be engaging even more completely than if we're just in our heads about it. Now, if you really get engaged, then you're going to get your heart engaged, your energetic heart. You're going to be asking the divine and all of the angelic realm to help you in creating this beautiful thing. But that's a little bit different. So let's just focus on the actual practice of gratitude and how you can make it work for you. So it makes sense that we as human beings would always want to be saying thank you. We are taught from birth, oh, say thank you. We want to please the divine. So we're going to say, oh, thank you. We are told if you have any kind of a religious practice or you've studied the scriptures on your own, and it doesn't really matter which scripture or which material you're studying, they are all going to tell you about how important it is to be thankful, appreciative, grateful for all that you are receiving. And it truly does open you to be more receptive when you say thank you. Let's just look at it realistically. If you were to just grab everything and run away, first of all, grabbing closes you off. You have to open your hands, and then because you've grabbed it instead of received it, you're going to want to close your hands in order to hold on to it. However, when you are saying thank you because something came to you and you were open to receiving it, your hands stay in a more open position. You are just energetically open, and that means that you are able to receive more. So, not only are you doing this as a way to please God, but you are activating that beautiful way of filling and receiving. Grabbing just fills, and then you have to shut your hands as though I've had enough. Because if you were to let go, then whatever you grabbed would fall out. If you are in gratitude, thank you for this beautiful gift, you do not feel that you have taken it from someone else or that you were not worthy of receiving it. And so, therefore, you are staying in your best place to receive. But we've always got to remember that gratitude isn't going to change God. It's not even going to please God. It's not going to increase the amount of blessings that are flowing your way. And it's not going to make you more worthy. And this is because in the mind and the eyes and the heart of the divine, there is already an unlimited stream of blessings. There can't be any more because that's already at maximum. So you don't need to please God in order to be in the receiving. Those blessings are flowing. You are not going to increase what's flowing your way because it's already at maximum. And you cannot make yourself more worthy because the divine already see you as perfect, as worthy, as magnificent, as everything you need to be. So gratitude is not a way to manipulate God or make God do what you want them to do. Gratitude is the way to change you. It helps you feel worthy. It helps you feel better about receiving. It makes you feel good about you. It makes you look at yourself the way the divine look at you. And that's the perfect way to receive. So we need to remember that God can only be one thing. They are already everything they want to be, and that is good. And that good means that they are unconditionally loving and accepting. They're not going to change. You can't make them change, and they have no desire to change. They are always going to be good. They are always going to love you. They are always going to accept you. You are the one that needs to gain that same kind of love and acceptance for yourself. And that's what gratitude can help you do. But just remember that the divine are complete and they see you as perfect. So if they can see you as perfect, why are you allowing yourself to occupy any kind of mental headspace that says you're not? Anytime your mind starts wandering over into, yeah, but I made that mistake, or, oh, well, look, I did that, or, I don't know, that was pretty stupid. Just let it go. Get it out of you. Give it back to God and say, angels, please help me with this. I am struggling with letting go of these feelings of not enough. I am looking at myself and I am seeing unworthiness. I'm seeing all of the times and the places and the decisions that just didn't honor my highest good. And it's really difficult now for me to see myself as perfect. I need your help. And then let it go. Create space. If you're holding on to what's wrong, there is no space in you for what's right to come in and expand. So you must let it go by actively giving it to the divine and then taking a cleansing breath and opening your heart and saying, thank you. Ah, thank you for letting me see with your eyes, think with your mind, and feel with your heart, so that I can know the truth about myself, about all those around me, and about the world. And from this place, I will be able to see the perfection not only in my own self, but in everyone else. And I will be able, or more likely to be able, to inspire them. So it becomes this beautiful gift that you're not just giving to yourself, but to everyone. And energy, it cannot be contained. So as you begin filling up, you're eventually going to get to the place where you're filled. You really get it. You love you. And that love is just going to continue to pour forth upon you. And then you will become an ever-flowing fountain, so that that love that you feel will be able to go out and bless others, and it will be continual. They'll fill up and they'll bless others, and it will just keep going and going and going until we are living in a world that is truly heaven on earth. It's possible, but we need to let go of what's wrong. So now let me tell you about my adventures with gratitude and how I got so far off the path, so confused and so lost, spinning in circles. And I've spun in a lot of circles on my journey. And now I'm just delighted to have these stories to share so that I can help you not have to do these crazy machinations that I wound up engaging in order to learn. So somewhere along the way, I got a hold of someone's gratitude practice. It was, I don't remember the person's name, but I think it was a book. It might have been a video. I don't even know. But the person is sharing about how they had acquired an older home and the kitchen needed a complete remodel. And there was one day when they were in the midst of this remodel, and we all know remodels don't usually go as planned, and it can get very frustrating. So she was having a serious meltdown in her kitchen. I think it was something to do with the kitchen cabinets, and she just found herself crying in a puddle on the floor. Just couldn't take it anymore. And it suddenly dawned on her after she got out all of the frustration in tears. She just kind of sat there, and now she was empty, so she was able to receive. And what she received is that she needed to be grateful. She needed to be grateful for this kitchen and grateful for what she was learning and grateful for the whole experience. Okay, well, that wasn't bad. And I'm not even explaining it as well as she did. However, I got a hold of that message and it got all twisted up in my mind. I was very new on this journey. I was still filled with a lot of pain and so much self criticism and judgment that I needed to do everything very harshly. So I got a hold of this gratitude practice that said, you must be grateful for everything. And I completely misunderstood the idea of gratitude, and I began looking at everything I hated and trying to pretend that I was grateful for this thing that I despised. I was sure that's what she was doing in her kitchen. So I would go to the grocery store. Money was very scarce in those days. I would go to the grocery store and I'm trying to do a week's worth of shopping, which in those days probably was going to run about $100, maybe more. I would look in my wallet, I would see maybe 20, maybe on a good day 40. And I tried to be grateful by saying things that were completely absurd. I'm so grateful for this $20. And then I would tack on, even though I need 120 in order to buy my groceries for the week, I'm still grateful that I have $20. I wasn't grateful. I was resentful. I was so angry that I didn't have the money that I needed in order to make sure that my family would have the groceries that I wanted them to have. That's not gratitude. That is pretending while you are seething and resentful and raging inside. Or I would look in my wallet and say, if it was empty, oh, I guess I should be grateful I have a wallet. I wasn't grateful. I was so bitter that things were not what I wanted them to be. And I was still so angry at God that I was twisting every practice that could have been beneficial and letting it serve my need to be angry and vengeful. Now, if I was doing gratitude correctly, I would look at the $20 in my purse and I would say, I am so grateful for this $20. I'm excited to see how much I can purchase with this $20. But I am so grateful that I have $20 to spend. If I had come from that high place, that place of deep appreciation and sincere gratitude, I would have attracted more money. But the fact that I was coming from a low place of resentment and anger, meant that I quickly spent my 20 and didn't attract any more. So, the first thing we need to understand is gratitude works on the same universal laws that everything else works. And the first rule of thumb is be sincere above everything else. No matter what you may be thinking or feeling, be sincere. If you cannot express what you are thinking or feeling in a high place, do the work to release the low vibration before you try to use any of the spiritual principles like gratitude. Otherwise, law of attraction is going to bring you something more to be resentful about because my words said, I am grateful, but my attitude, my emotion, my thoughts, my energy said, I'm resentful, I'm angry, and I am ashamed. That was a big one for me at that time. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'm just looking for someone to blame. I didn't have access to any of the higher level emotions and thoughts and feelings that could have brought me what I desired because I was stuck in my low place. Now, finally, after much trial and error and much pain, I learned to release the negative and really engage in a powerful, sincere gratitude practice. But if you cannot express gratitude sincerely, this is not the time for you to express gratitude. It is the time for you to release the pain so that you can raise your vibration. You cannot hold on to what's wrong and have access to what's right or what you desire or what will feel good. You must release the lower vibration, clear it away, heal it, and then you will be able to successfully receive what it is that you're wanting. So, when you are grateful for everything, or you are pretending that you are grateful for everything, all you're really doing is creating energetic confusion. There were times in the midst of my tirade or my rant or my um, feelings of shame where I would step out of it and something good would happen and I could be sincerely grateful. But it was the yo-yo, the not understanding where I was wanting to be, that was causing everything to upend. So all I was really creating was confusion. Just be one way. If you are angry, get that anger out of you. Process it until you're done. Do it as quickly as you can. Understand it's not going to serve you. But don't pretend that you're not angry when you are. You are not fooling God. You're only trying to fool you, and energy doesn't lie. So you're sending out into the universe everything you don't want to receive. You got to stay on one frequency. The higher, the better. The easier it is to manifest. The higher you are, don't pretend this is energy. It is doesn't matter the words that you are saying if your energy is high, because the universe doesn't speak your language. They speak the language of energy. And ask the angels to help you. We live in complicated worlds. We are on challenging life journeys. We are not here to do it by ourselves. We are here to recognize we need support, to ask for it, and be willing to receive it. So don't be afraid to ask the angels. And remember that trying to be grateful for everything is trying to love something you hate, being exceedingly dishonest, and very manipulative. I wanted to manipulate the divine so badly, but I was so angry and felt so put upon by the restrictions that I made things so much worse. Now, of course, I was telling myself, what a wonderful being I am for having this gratitude practice, even when I'm in this horrible circumstance, blah, 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 blah. Get it out. Okay, you're in a really rough place. I get it. Okay, things aren't going well. I get it. What can you focus on that is going right? Until you get focused on what's right instead of what's wrong, you are going to continue to attract the thing you don't want. We are attractor beings, and our thoughts and our emotions determine what we attract. So while I was angry and resentful and ashamed of what I didn't have, I was actively preventing myself from receiving what I did want to have. So now let's take a look at what I do not want you to be grateful for. You should not be grateful for the painful situation. You can find the good within the situation, but if you are trying to actively be grateful for something you don't want, you are lying. Take it from somebody who knows. I also don't want you to be grateful for the challenge. You can be grateful for the opportunity to grow, but challenges are not usually feel good situations because they are asking us to grow. So be grateful that you have expanded so much that it's time for you to grow, but you don't have to be delighted that you're in the midst of a challenge unless you can express that with sincerity. Now, examples of that might be death of a loved one, or a broken relationship, or some sort of failure in business or in your personal life. Now, if you are dealing with the death of a loved one, so difficult. Honor that this is a very difficult thing to do. Grieving is hard. However, try as much as you can to focus on the times that you had that were wonderful. If that will help you. If that brings more pain, then find something else. But honor that it is difficult to change your relationship from, oh, I had them here in the physical and now they're only an energetic being. Honor that that is difficult. And a broken relationship. If instead of saying, oh, that no good, blah, 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 you can recall some of the good times in the relationship, it will help you move on more quickly. However, if you are just overwhelmed with pain, honor that, get it out, give yourself time to process, and then start. That was really fun. I'm really grateful I had that experience. Or perhaps you've had a business failure or a personal failure. Whatever it is, failure doesn't feel good. But you can be grateful for how far you were able to get. So, okay, you didn't get to the big goal, but did you get even out the door? Let's say you didn't get out the door. Can you be grateful that you were trying? Absolutely. Hey, I'm really proud of you to yourself. I am so proud of you. You got up and you tried. Okay, so it didn't go so well. You fell on your face. You think I haven't fallen on my face over and over and over again? I used to be the expert at doing stupid things out of being afraid that I was good enough. Now I still do stupid things and make a lot of mistakes, but I am no longer judging myself with so much criticism. Instead, everything has changed, and now I am able to say, hey, I'm really proud of you. You tried. So now, I don't want you to force or try to pretend that something is great. It is going to get you into so much trouble. Instead, remember that the law of attraction is always active and it's going to bring you what you are in vibrational harmony with. So that's why I'm asking you to raise your vibration as high as you quickly can as high as you can, as quickly as you can. You can do that with your focus, with your emotion, and with your actions. They all back each other up. Focus, where you place your attention. What are you talking about and thinking about? Oftentimes, we may not even be aware of our thoughts, but we can hear it when we talk about things. If the first thing that comes out of your mouth is all of the problems you're experiencing, that's where your focus is. Your emotions. Your emotions are what you're getting excited about or worked up about. So know that the emotions are like the gas pedal. The bigger your emotional attachment, the louder you are speaking with your vibrational voice. So if you're just unhappy, it's a pretty soft voice. If you're unhappy, that voice got so loud that you just drew 100 things you didn't want. And your actions. What are you spending your time doing? If you are spending all of your time complaining about what you don't have and being resentful over what you do have, you are going to attract more. Your actions are, what are you willing to commit to? How big a priority is this for you? Well, if you're talking about it, even though you say it isn't a big priority, it is for you. And what steps are you taking toward this on a regular basis? If I say I'm going to change a habit and I can only be bothered to even pay attention to whether I'm making any progress every once in a great while, I have no commitment. So there's very little likelihood that I'm going to change. But know this, that even if you were to commit to changing your habit and you were absolutely diligent day after day, the law of attraction is not instantaneous. There is some time. So you are going to receive the thing that you are building toward. It's a steady buildup. It's a gathering of momentum, not a woo, here it comes. It is a way of being that either puts you in the receiving line or in the line of uh-oh, which is also a receiving line. But your continual energetic offering is going to decide what you receive. So let's look at, and I see I'm gotta go in a second here. Let's look at what's going to get you results. So gratitude that gets you results is sincere. You are able to express from your energetic heart space what is wanted. It is heartfelt. That means you are emotionally engaged with this. It is what you want. It is unsolicited. You are not trying to manipulate something in order for this to really feel good to you. It just pours forth from you. It looks for, it meaning gratitude, looks for and focuses upon everything that's right. And it is excited to share with everyone that it meets. So when you are overflowing with gratitude, you, it's in, you're incapable of holding that energy to yourself. You want to share. You are feeling good and you want others to feel good. And gratitude that's going to get you results will never come from a place of manipulation. It's not done to make someone give you something. It is done from a sincere, open place of deep understanding and deep willingness to receive. Now, there are three specific angels that you can call on. There are actually more than three, they're reminding me, that you can call on to help you with this because guess what? There's an angel that will help with absolutely everything. So call on these three, and next week we'll take a look at who they are and how they can enhance your gratitude practice. But you want to call on them first to help you hold a high vibration because the law of attraction doesn't go on vacation just because you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, or in my case, years of bad attitude. You don't get any time off. And these are laws, which means, sorry guys, you cannot change them. But you don't want to change them because when you work with these universal laws, you will get consistent results each and every time. So once you understand, you will easily be able to be in the divine flow of blessings and receiving. So, whoop, the three helpers that we're going to talk about next week: Archangel Ariel, the Lioness of God; Archangel Raziel, Secret of God. And I love that he is a helper in the manifestation plane because so much of this study is said to be wrapped in secrets. And Archangel Raziel is here to remind us there are no secrets that you cannot discover. Nothing is withheld from you. It is simply being in the place, in the vibrational resonance where you can receive the information. It's not that things are trying to be withheld from you. It is that you need a certain amount of awareness before you will be able to understand them. It is as simple as telling a child in kindergarten, now I'm going to teach you calculus, and recognizing that they're not going to be able to comprehend anything that you are talking about because they have yet to create a relationship with numbers. If you don't have a relationship with the divine, you will not be able to effectively use these laws to your benefit. You just won't understand. So, Archangel Raziel will help us out. And our last energy is Melchizedek, who is known to be the king of righteousness. This means right standing with God. Now, right standing with God doesn't mean uh, you give money to the poor or you help out in a soup kitchen or you never say a bad word. It means that you have allowed yourself to enter into a relationship with the divine. You are experiencing yourself as a divine being. That is right standing with God. So we'll get to that next week. Thank you all for being here. No questions today. Don't forget, you guys can comment anytime, just as long as you stay on whatever topic we're talking about, because I only have so much time and I don't want to get off in other areas. So if you have a comment or a topic that you want me to address at another time, then please put it in the chat and I'll be sure to. Thank you, Sirius. And Sirius says to us, thank you, Marcia, a very important differentiation with the underlying resentment or anger standing in the way of a path of sincere gratitude. Yes, gosh, let me tell you guys, it was one of the hardest lessons that I ever had to learn because I was not even in touch with how angry I was. I thought I was kind of like a nice person that didn't get angry, and I was seething inside. So take it from me. Let go of what's not working because what is going to work, what could be working for you is fabulous and you will be missing out on it. So, gotta go. Love you all. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you next week.